There's no reason you can't become a millionaire other than you think you can't. 70%, that is 7 out of 10 millionaires, didn't average $100,000 or more in household, not individual, household income per year. And almost 80%, that's 8 out of 10 millionaires, received no inheritance at all. So let me be clear on the title of this video where I said how I grew over $1 million in assets, making less than $100,000 a year. That's combined household income. My husband and I, for now, use my NLP there, for now, we make less than $100,000 a year combined. So let me tell you how this happened. We had joined a program to help us learn an investment strategy that would increase our upside potential while decreasing our downside losses in the market. And one of the first things that our financial coach had us do was fill out a balance sheet. What's a balance sheet? Well, it's a list of all of your assets, the things that you own, and a list of all the things that you owe, your liabilities. So, balance sheet is assets and liabilities, the things that you own and the things that you owe. I have been great at tracking what would be your income statement. So, my income and my expenses, I have tracked that religiously for, I don't know, 20 years. I mean, probably longer than that because I did it in a balance, a check stub, check register, balance my checkbook. There we go. And um, I've done that forever. I've done that forever. But I never actually kept track of all of the account balances because, I mean, why do you need that? As long as your income out exceeds your expenses, you're great, right? Well, we'd never done that. So we sat down, we listed out all of our accounts of everything that we had: checking accounts, savings accounts, investment accounts, IRAs, 529 for the kids, everything. Houses. I'm trying to think about what else is on there. My husband actually has a pension. Everything went on there. Then we had to list our mortgages. We had to list our credit cards. We had to list, I didn't have any car loans. So I guess that was it for us. Okay, so we listed all of these things out on a balance sheet. And I looked at my husband and I said, oh my gosh, we are almost millionaires. No clue. Like, I knew that my investment accounts, my retirement accounts were doing well because I would check on those, but I had no clue that we were that close to becoming millionaires. And so 3 months later, voila, we were millionaires. Okay, now let me tell you that while we're sitting down filling out this sheet and we look at each other and say, okay, we're official millionaires. Cheers. My husband is drinking a Trader Joe's beer that was less than $1 per can, and he has subsequently asked me to stop buying that beer for him because apparently it's not that good. Anyhow, we are totally the millionaires next door because my car has over 200,000 miles on it. I think we're pushing 226,000 now, maybe 227,000 miles now. We have hand-me-down furniture. And again, the Trader Joe's beer. Like, we were not feeling like millionaires. We were totally the millionaires next door. But I love Ramit Sethi's idea that you need to spend wildly, lavishly on the things that matter to you and cut mercilessly on the things that you don't care about. And so I took this to the next level once I found out that we were millionaires. I was like, okay, we're not going to miss out on life. And we haven't. Let me tell you, we have not missed out on life. We have regularly taken vacations and we went to Legoland and we've done the things. So it is possible to not make 6 figures and still become a millionaire while going to Legoland. We have 2 kids, so it's not like, it's just the two of us. So we have set aside money for Mexico. We have set aside money for Christmas presents. We have money set aside for skiing and even a new car because, 227,000 ain't gonna last forever. But let me tell you how we do it. The way that I grew $1 million in assets, making less than 6 figures combined a year, is that I have automated, and so has my husband, even before I met him, we automated our savings and investing. We automated our savings and investing. So every month, money automatically goes into our retirement account. We never see it. It never hits our account. We never have to think about it. Now, if you're an entrepreneur and you're saying, yeah, but I have an unsteady income, I can't use these automated things. Au contraire. Au contraire. This is what I teach in Double Your Profits in 30 Days because you can. You just have to create the system where you pay yourself a steady paycheck. And yes, it's totally doable. My clients are doing it. In fact, one of my clients right now is in Africa, and she was saying, yeah, I am not working this month and I'm not sure like how that works because she's new to the system. And I said, that's what the money that's sitting in your account is for. You're still going to pay yourself the same paycheck. And she was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. Like, I'm going to pay myself while I'm in Africa. Wait, you can have paid time off as an entrepreneur? Why, yes, yes, you can. And when you pay yourself a steady paycheck every single month, and again, I know you're not believing me. This could be a different video. It's totally doable. When you're paying yourself a steady paycheck every single month, then you can automate your savings and investing on the personal side. The other thing is you use your raises. So when you pay yourself a steady paycheck, then when you give yourself a raise, because you've been tracking it and you know that you can give yourself a raise, when you give yourself a raise, you can use that money to set aside for the things that you want. And you automate that. Automate, automate, automate. Okay, why does this work? Because it doesn't use willpower. We know for a fact, research studies galore, we know for a fact that willpower is a limited resource. We cannot be using our willpower to consciously catch all of our negative thoughts. We can't use our willpower then to like make ourselves work out. We can't use our willpower to then say, oh, I'm going to make good decisions and I'm going to save and I'm going to do this. Like all the things that we're supposed to do to take care of ourselves in the world. If we use our willpower for all of that, we're not going to have any willpower left for actually getting ahead, which is why you have to automate. And the other reason that automating works is because you never see it. We as humans will spend what we have. And so if that money never hits our account, it's immediately gone. We never see it. We can't spend it, right? It's off in Never Land over there doing its thing, making more money for us while we're making money over here. So that's the key to automating is that you never see it, which means that you can never spend it. If you try to put money in your account and then save whatever's left over, it's never going to happen. It would never have happened for me. I know that because every month my account goes back to the zero level that I've set. I spend what I have, and you will too. So automate it. Okay, so what will prevent you from automating it? Well, two things. The first thing, and this is like key, you'll never do it. You'll never take the time to do it because it's one of those things that you know, and I'm going to be honest with you, it takes time to set up. And so it's like one of those things that like, oh, I'll get to later. I'll get to it some other time. But without putting it on your calendar and actually sitting down to do it, you'll never do it. And if you don't know what you're doing when you sit down to do it, of course, what are you going to do when you set aside the time? So the the honest truth is it does take time to set up. It does. And once it's set up, it's pretty much on autopilot. Like again, my savings happens without me even looking at it. I've even auto invested, so I don't look at it. It automatically goes to my brokerage account and it automatically gets invested. I don't even think about it. For profit in your business, it is a little bit different that it takes 20 minutes a month. That's it. Literally, I've asked my clients and they say, yeah, 15 to 20 minutes because they have a system, they follow it, they plug in the numbers, they make their transfers because you can't with business there is a little bit that you have to do, but it takes 20 minutes a month. And then from there everything else is automated. So, it does take time to set up, but once it's set up, it takes 20 minutes a month. Now, the second reason that you won't automate is because, and this is the most important part, because your internal programming around money won't let you. So if you think about all the things that you learned as a child about money, and there is research that shows that all of our money habits were set by the time we were 7 years old. If you think about how your parents handled money, whether you make way more money than them or not, you will have the same emotional mind body programming about money, which means when you think about sitting down to set up the system, all that junk that you remember watching as a kid comes up, and it's like, why on earth would you want to set aside time to feel awful in that way? And so this is why when I teach people how to build their $1 million systems, the most important part is not actually the system. The system is imperative, but it's actually secondary, because the most important part is uninstalling all the negative stuff that they learned about money in childhood and reinstalling a new positive belief system about money. That's the most important part. We have to uninstall all the negative stuff that you've learned about money in childhood and then reinstall a new positive belief system about money. And I have a proven method that works, and I've used it with my clients, I've used it with myself. It works. So if you want to grow your first million, even regardless of how much money you're making, and you want to stop working for money and get your money working for you, you can go to my website, leandrafoster.com, to book a coffee chat. And this is just a conversation to see if you'd like to explore working together more. There's no pressure. It's just like, hey, are you really what you seem to be on the video? And let me tell you, last thing, most millionaires become millionaires within 20 years on average. And that might sound like a long time looking forward, but when you look back, I don't know how old you are, but high school and college were 20 years ago, and that seems like the blink of an eye. Like, I kind of still think I'm 26, even though I'm pretty sure I'm not. So 20 years from now, you might be looking at retirement. So that's all it takes. Some automation. You just have to have the right skills, the right tools, and I'll say the right leader. So if you would like me to show you how to do it, again, go to leandrafoster.com and book a coffee chat with me.